Should you be grading with the lip plate or the blade of the bucket or the back of the bucket? Continue watching as we go into the pros and cons of using both. For someone new to operating or not so skilled at fine grading, using the back of the bucket as opposed to the lip plate or the blade may be easier. Grading with the back of the bucket may feel like it's easier to level out a surface over a wider area, making it easier to maintain an even surface, whereas using the lip plate or the blade, you could accidentally dig in a bit too deep if you're not as experienced. Using the lip plate or the blade on a grading bucket to grade requires a little bit more skill as opposed to using the rear of the bucket, but would generally give you a much finer and a slightly more professional finish. So which option is better for your bucket? The rear of the bucket obviously isn't built to the same kind of construction as the lip plate, and using the rear of the bucket, it will eventually wear out over time. Now, you can add wear straps to the back of a grading bucket, which are welded on, and once they wear out, replacing them is very difficult. But you can obviously add a bolt-on blade, which is just put on with nuts and bolts. So it's easy to turn, meaning that the right point of the bucket is kept strong all the time. Using the rear of the bucket potentially will shorten the life of the bucket, meaning that you'll have to replace it more often. A bolt-on blade to the lip plate is by far the most cost-effective way of protecting your bucket, and in truth, using the blade is the best way to grade, really. And obviously, as it wears back, you get the ability to be able to turn a bolt-on blade, so you get twice the life out of the blade, meaning that it's more cost-effective overall. Grading with the blade on a bucket means that you're wearing a replaceable part, and one thing I will add there is please make sure you turn your blade when you get back to the lip plate, or replace it if it needs replacing. But when you grade with the rear of the bucket, you're creating direct wear to the bucket, meaning that once that's worn, you'll have to replace the bucket. So if bucket longevity is a big thing for you, I highly recommend that you grade with the lip plate on the bucket as opposed to the rear of the bucket. If you're new to operating, or you don't often have to fine grade, using the rear of the bucket, it's okay. It obviously will wear it out a bit faster. So I recommend practice using the lip plate for grading. You'll get a much finer finish and you'll become a pro. If you want to know when you should use a grading beam as opposed to a grading bucket, then watch this video here and don't forget to subscribe.